Hey guys, I just wanted to share some things with you that will make chemistry a lot easier. I know I struggle with it tremendously, so I just want to let you know of a couple things. Uh, First of all, you probably want to have a decent grip on math before you go to chemistry because math is actually involved in chemistry a lot more than you think. Second of all, you need to start out with a good attitude. And I know that's really hard because chemistry is hard. But if you realize that everything's going to be okay and you need to um, start out realizing that it's going to take time and effort, then it'll help you a lot. Believe in yourself and decide that you're going to find something to enjoy about it. And I know that's really hard and it may sound cheesy to be, oh, let's be all positive, but you really need to do that. Second of all, for those whose parents don't make them go to class, you really need to go to class because you're not going to learn anything if you don't. Arrive on time and don't just say, oh well, it's okay, I'll be late. And sit as close to the front of the classroom as you can. And I know this sounds like, oh well, only the geeks do that, but really, if you sit in the back of the class, it'll be a lot harder to concentrate and you won't learn as much because you can't hear. And take lots of notes. Don't think, oh, well, I'll remember that. Take lots of notes. You can never take too many notes. Pay attention. Don't bring a book to read. Don't listen to your iPod. And when the teacher is working on problems on the board, you need to copy them down and do them with him. Otherwise, you're never going to learn because the number one reason why chemistry students fail is because they don't practice it themselves. They just expect to learn it by watching the teacher do it. And don't be embarrassed about asking for help. Don't worry about your friends thinking you're stupid because chances are they secretly have the same question you do. They're just too afraid to ask it. You need to be the one who sticks up and asks and just really doesn't care what your friends think because you do want to pass this class. So the best way to study for tests and quizzes is to pay attention to all the teacher says and ask for help when you need it. And try and get in study groups with your friends and stuff to do the homework with them and to study for quizzes. And you can come up with your own study style. You may want to record yourself reading the notes and then just listen to it over and over again, or you can write it on note cards and just quiz yourself by reading through the note cards. Anticipate what's going to be on the exam because like you can notice when the teacher's paying a lot of attention on one particular thing and say, oh well, he seems to be just spending a lot of time on that, so he's probably going to put that on the exam. And then the night before the exam, get lots of sleep. Don't stay up all night trying to study for it because then your brain's just going to be mush. Try and eat a good breakfast that morning, and even though that sounds cheesy, and try and avoid caffeine that morning. Even though you may think, oh, well, it'll keep me awake, it's going to mess up your brain. Don't procrastinate and say it's going to be okay to get a bad grade because it's really not, and you will regret it later. So, and I don't know if you guys realize this, but if you get a decent enough grade, like a really high B or a decent A in chemistry, you won't have to take it in college, and that will be so much better because college chemistry is such a pain. It's so much harder. And don't fall into these common traps or myths or whatever one you want to call them. Don't skip class and just get the notes from friends because it's not nearly the same as hearing it from the teacher. And don't just show up for the quiz and the teacher's like, oh, you're here, and then you just sneak out the door because you really need to take the quiz. Don't put off studying until the night before. You need to spread it out over a period of time. Not only will you probably learn more, but it'll be better for your brain. You won't just turn it into mush the night before and just like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. And don't just disappear from class after getting one good grade thinking that that'll carry you through all the way. One good A or B does not cancel out an F at all. And then don't expect to be able to catch up after one bad semester. It's really incredibly hard and it's almost impossible. And don't expect to be allowed to do an extra credit project just because you were lazy earlier in the semester. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope I didn't come across as harsh or anything, but I am going to try and put these to use for me as much as I can, and I hope you will too. I hope this was helpful.